South Africa's first Venda-Language film, will be hitting the big screen today. Luruli was directed by Ntshavheni wa Luruli and stars local television actress Florence Schattauer. It's based on a novel by Titus Ntshavheni. I'm joined in studio by the producer of the film, Florian Schattauer. But before we speak to Florian, let's take a look at a trailer for that movie. Florian, it looks amazing, just looking at the colors of this movie and just the people who are in it, the familiar faces. What is Luruli about?
Luruli is based on the first Venda novel, as you said, by Titus Ntshavheni, and it's a story about a young woman that graduates from university, then goes home to her rural homestead to celebrate, and she also brings her boyfriend along, wants to introduce him to her parents. And then she finds out that, and she also got a scholarship to study further abroad. So she's really like in seventh heaven. And then her parents tell her, firstly, you've studied enough. Secondly, you mustn't see your boyfriend any longer. And thirdly, you're going to have to marry someone who actually financed your studies. And
that is what sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
It sounds, and I'm sure lots of South Africans will be able to relate to that one. Why has it taken so long for us to do a movie like this in South Africa, a Venda movie? Or what? Let me make it easier for you. What led to us doing it, to you doing it at this point?
Well, I think firstly, the Venda-Language is the smallest language group within South Africa. It's in the most northern part. And I think maybe that's also why it took quite a while. I think other language groups are more prominently represented in South Africa, and we have seen Zulu films and Xhosa films. And so I think that's one of the reasons. And then what led me to do this film is because Ntshavheni wa Luruli is a Venda himself, and he really wanted to make this film for years and years and years. And then we got together as a team, and then I think it didn't take that long once we really set our minds to it. We started in 2006, and the movie was premiered in 2012. So it's long, but it hasn't. Okay,
yeah. It hasn't been that long if you look in the bigger picture. In the bigger picture of things, shot completely in South Africa, on location in South Africa.
It has been shot. All of it has been shot on location in and around Thohoyandou. So we shot in Limpopo. There was like, you see the white line there,
yes.
that we had to do in Gauteng, so a couple of things. Because
what were some of your biggest challenges making this movie here?
The one challenge was really the actual production stage in Venda. We shot it in 2011, and in week 2 the floods arrived, and we were washed out almost. And the first location was when we started 45 kilometers away, and then the national road was washed away, and then all of a sudden the location was 120 k's away. So we ran over budget, we ran out of time. So the challenge then was, of course, to raise that gap of finance that we didn't anticipate. And also of course, we were the first feature film in that region. We worked on a very tight budget, and we worked with a local population that hasn't worked on films before. So like getting a local caterer to film catering. We didn't have the money to bring people in from Gauteng. So those are challenges that we, I think, overcame. And at the end of the day, the local population was fantastic in their support for the film.
So what's going to surprise me about this movie? What are some of the cultural surprises in store for me if I watch it tonight?
I think the difference about the film like Luruli, it is what I would call an African South African film that takes a positive outlook on African culture without sugarcoating it. And it is it's a film that, you know, very often when you watch African films abroad, it deals with urban problems, with with HIV and AIDS. So this is it's a romantic love story. At the end of the day, I think it's a feel-good movie that also deals with myths and legends of the Venda cultures. So I think it's kind of a bit of a magic realist film. So I think it's, in that sense, it's a unique South African film that hasn't been done before here.
Wonderful, and it looks wonderful, and it looks colorful, and I'm sure it's going to draw your crowds. Thank you so much, producer Florian Schattauer.
Know more about your world.
eNCA.com.